I think that in our life and in our society today, we forget how fragile life is. And I feel like Jonah and our other children, of course, have brought a new light to this life that of go, go, go and make money and work, work, work. And there's not enough time that we spend thinking that, I don't know, this life is fragile and it's precious.
Ask for help from other moms that you know, or therapists, or don't try to do it alone. You won't be able to. And the sooner you realize that, the better, because you'll just get. I tried to do it alone, and I made it 2 months home. But seek out help however you see fit, if you're faith. And the more help you get, the better equipped you'll be.
You need to have patience. You need to learn to work on your patience. Is that the word?
Yeah. Yes, that's a good one.
There are gonna be a lot of moments where you are gonna be hand-tied. You cannot do anything. You have to leave everything in someone else's hands. Sometimes your baby's gonna fall, not literally, metaphorically, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. If you're married, try to work it along with your partner, your husband, your wife. Try to lean on them. You are a family after all.
Don't let kidney disease define who you are either. Try to find that balance. Yeah.
I would say just take a deep breath, because I think every single step along the way is hard, and every time something happens it feels impossible. But looking back now, it wasn't, and everything worked out. And so I think if I were to go through it again, I think I would tell myself to not freak out at every step.
I'm one of those people that I had to know everything that was going on. What were you giving my son? What was fixing to happen? I wanted to be one step ahead. So no question is a stupid question, and always speak up.
I think I would say have hope, because it is possible, and there's just so many moments when it feels like it's not, and it feels like it's so hard, but it gets better. It does.
The doctors being completely upfront and no sugarcoating or anything, because I didn't know really anything about it, because I didn't know Aiden's kidneys weren't working until he was born. So we weren't ready or prepared for anything. And then, just being upfront and knowing, the doctors being honest and telling me what we're fixing to go into was probably the most helpful for me.
The thing about kidney disease is that literally no two children are alike, so you really gotta know your stuff, because the doctor can look at one kidney disease child and then go to another one, and it's a completely different story.
And you always gotta make sure all the doctors are staying in contact with each other, because especially if you have a child that has 5, 6, 7, 8 different doctors, they always can't all get together at the same time, so you really have to be on top of it to make sure everything's staying coordinated, because it doesn't.
I'm one of those that I have a book this big from the time Aiden was in the NICU upstairs until he got transplanted. Every lab draw is in there, every therapy, every doctor he's ever been to, everything. I mean, the Dr. Barry would be looking for labs. I'm like, I have them. Yeah. I mean, I have everything lined out, and I keep a transplant one just like that. We have a pre-transplant, we have a post-transplant, and I keep everything of Aiden's. I get a copy of every lab draw, every test that's done, when we go to the emergency room, before we leave, I make sure I have a copy of the video they took, or X-ray results, or whatever they did. I need copies.
One question I always got is, are you studying to be a nurse, or are you a nurse by any chance? And I'd be like, no, I'm just a really awesome mom. I won't let his disease define him. I don't want people to baby him and be like, oh, he has kidney disease, let him be bad. I mean, no, he's a normal child. And I always tell him, baby, you're just like everybody else in here, so he has to behave too. Everything that we do, I treat him like he's normal, because he is normal.
To have a normal life as any other child, that's all you can hope for. And to be as healthy as they can be at their optimum health.
It's, you know, when it's been raining here for 3 weeks, we talk about how it's rained forever. Well, it's really only been 3 weeks. But I think human nature is it's hard to see outside of ourselves and to see that this isn't going to last forever. This is really a short-term thing. Even if short-term is a year or two, it's still short-term in the big picture. So I think it has defined me at different points in time. But I guess the way that you get out of it is by realizing the bigger picture, is by seeing that there is joy that comes from pain, and there is successes that comes from these failures, and there are things that can happen past these hard times and these days that you're sitting in there for hours and hours on end just waiting for the doctor to come.
It was a challenge, but then I realized that he doesn't know any different. Like, he doesn't know that he's sick because he was born this way. So he doesn't, now he has a transplant. He doesn't even remember dialysis. He doesn't remember any of the surgeries. He doesn't remember anything. It's just like he's just living life.
And how amazing it is to see them grow and to see them do things that no one ever thought that they could do, and just meet those milestones and do things that are just blow me away daily, the way he is able to do everything without any problems.
Right.
It's a blessing.
And they do it in their own time, because it seems like babies that are on dialysis, it takes them a little bit longer to sit up and to do some of the same things, but they do all the same things. It's just in their own time for sure.
And I think it's actually more exciting when they do it. When you've
I
worked for
agree.
so long and you've waited for so long, to see them start to learn to roll over or crawl or walk is way more exciting than it was for my other kids.
No, I totally agree with you. I asked my 9-year-old son, who's a transplanted now for 7 years, on our way over here today, I said, what do you remember most about being on dialysis and being an infant that was sick? And he goes, Mom, I don't remember anything. All I know is life is good. And one of my things is, not only for my child who has had a transplant and lived on dialysis, but for all my children, is I want my children to love life and to love people and to just live each day as if it's their last, to just embrace the days that they have and embrace the people that are in their lives, and because we just don't know. And so that's my hope and prayer for my children, is that they love the people they're with and make each day count. Finally,
I accepted help from parents and from family members, and they were just like, go ahead, go get some rest, eat something. It's like I had to be pushed to take care of myself, because I forgot about myself. It wasn't about me anymore.
I do remember when we brought Major home for the first time and we're going to do dialysis at home for the first night, my husband and I said to each other, let's just take it one day at a time. And you know what? We've lived life since then, taking it one day at a time. It is important for mothers and fathers to take some time for themselves, whether it's in your home or outside your home, just to give yourself a break, because I find that we're all better parents when we take care of ourselves.
It kind of makes you feel stronger in a way. But then, for me personally, when I look at my son, it's literally like I pull inspiration from him, because all of the things that he's gone through all the things that I'm going through right now are trivial compared to what he is going through and what he's going to have to continue to go through for the rest of his life. You know, so it's really rewarding in that sense.
Getting to the point where you can chill out is really important, and knowing that it's okay and you don't have to be as serious as all of the staff that are caring for your kid are when they're caring for him, because they're supposed to be serious all the time. And, you know, I think getting to that level of comfort is important.
You spend so much time hyper-focused on how well they're doing. And you'll see them smile, you'll see them laugh, and it really catches you off guard. Because so much of your time is spent caring for them medically that you forget to be their parent.
I think the emotions are heightened to some degree, whereas, you know, with other children, it's, you know, you get your highs and lows, but it's relatively overall kind of flat, but a little bit. With these children, it's a roller coaster, but the highs definitely outweigh the lows, because the highs are so high.
You have a solution, and then that solution works for like a month or a week, and then something else happens, or, you know, some other And that changes all of, you had it all set up and it was going to work a certain way, and then all of a sudden it doesn't work that way anymore, and so you have to find a new way. And after like the 18th time, you just kind of start, rolling with it. And I think for us, it's been, we had hospitalization this week that was a result of something that happened about a year and a half ago. And it was unexpected, and it was only for 2 days, and it was just like clockwork. I mean, she called me and said, "Oh, I'm not coming home. We're going to stay at the hospital." And I knew where the kids were and what to do, and we just. But I think getting to that level of flexibility was a challenge. I think now we're there, but maintaining that level of flexibility was definitely tough.
From most scenarios, you're right. It seems like at least one parent. If both are working, usually one of them ends up, staying home. And that was the case for us. Unfortunate for us, we had to start it early because Christina got put on bed rest. But even had she not, once Jonah was born, it would have been clear as day that, one of us would have had to stop working to manage all the doctor's appointments and the unknown admits that happen. And so that's always from a financial perspective, forget the medical side of it, just, cutting, one salary out of an income, is a big change in a household. So
the biggest change is I've always been a sprinter in life, and this is a marathon, mentally and physically. And so it's, that's been the biggest change for me. But I mean, he's an amazing kid, and like Hunter was saying, I get to see things with him that I missed out on with my other child because I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't have to pay attention as closely as I do now.
Dialysis.
Dialysis. Can you say dialysis?
Dialysis.
Can you say dialysis?
No. Dialysis? It's really hard for me.
It's a hard word. Can you say transplant?
Yes.
Transplant.
That's the way you do it. Because it'll do no leaking.
Okay. Can you say, can you say transplant? Who can say kidney? Can you say
Kidney. Kidney. It's just hard for me to say dialysis. It's not hard for me to say kidney. Kidney. It's not hard for me to say kidney. It's hard for me to say dialysis.
Were you on dialysis?
Oh, I just said it.